Welcome to Your Bookkeeping Matters. I'm your host, Lisa Turner, a professional bookkeeper, registered BAS agent, and your small business cheerleader and mentor. I'm also a wife and mum to two little people. This podcast is for small business owners who want to manage their numbers the right way. It will be short and sweet episodes each week on business and bookkeeping matters in an easy to understand way with real quick tips or changes you can put in place, having a huge positive impact at the same time up-leveling yourself, so you can be in control and confident that you know your bookkeeping matters. Let's dive into this week's episode. Good morning or afternoon, whenever you're listening to this week's episode of Your Bookkeeping Matters. And today is a bit of an unknown for lots of small business owners. What to do when you've made a mistake on your BAS, your business activity statement, when you're registered for GST. This episode is super short and snackable because it's a very quick and straightforward what to do. Even though it sounds like it could be a bit sticky situation to navigate, it's not. It's really straightforward and simple. There is absolutely no need to stress out or think you're going to get into loads of trouble with the friendly faces at the ATO, the Australian Tax Office here in Australia. So you've lodged your BAS and for whatever reason come across something that was done wrong. You claimed GST when you shouldn't have. You forgot to report wages and tax deducted. You lodged the wrong quarter figures. There are a million different reasons that there could be a mistake. But fear not. Ask yourself first this question. Is it material? What's material? It means, is it a big mistake, big dollars, or small immaterial amount? Let's go with the scenario, it's immaterial. It's a tiny amount. You've been claiming GST paid to a supplier for the quarter's invoices that you've paid them, but they're not actually registered for GST, and so you shouldn't be claiming any. You've claimed $100 GST each month for the quarter, so that's $300. That's totally immaterial, recent, and an honest mistake, so you can go ahead and include that adjustment in your next BAS. Now, depending how you lodge your BAS and which software, this does become a little bit technical how to physically do that, which obviously I can't step you through that on here. So touch base with your BAS or tax agent if you're not sure, and they'll give you the personalised advice for you. But basically, enter credit notes in the next BAS period that you're going to lodge to reverse the incorrect entry. Then enter the purchases in that same next BAS quarter correctly, and both the reversal and the correct entry will be picked up when you run your reports and lodge your next BAS. Now, the other option, with a lot of the software now, you can edit the transactions and the changes will simply be picked up in the next BAS you prepare. No need to enter reversals and credit notes. And this is what happens when you are using the new BAS experience in Xero. So you need to know how your software is being used and which BAS experience you're using to know which is the best way to go for you. So please, if you're not sure, check in with your trusty professional to make sure it does get done the right way. So the next scenario is that the error is material. It's big. It's huge. There is absolutely still no drama if it's a recent and honest mistake. All you need to do is work out what you should have lodged and then lodge a revision. Easy as. For example, you forgot to report your income and the GST you received in it for a whole month of the quarter. You accidentally ran the report for only 2 months instead of 3. Again, it's technical steps now how to lodge that revision. But if you're lodging through the ATO with online services, for example, you log in, head to lodgements and history, find the wrong BAS, and you'll have the option next to it to revise the numbers that you put in. Pop the right figures in and submit it again. Then you go make the payment for the difference. or your account will go into credit if it was overpaid. Now, the ATO may charge you interest on the difference if it's an old or overdue BAS. And now I've mentioned a few times if the mistake is recent. All mistakes need to have been revised or updated within 12 months to 4 years, depending on different time limits, scenarios, and different turnover thresholds. You can hit the ATO website for all the ins and outs, which I'll link in the show notes. So they're your two options. Include the changes in the next BAS or revise the previously lodged one. Now, if you like, even for smaller amounts, you absolutely can do a revision if you would prefer to, instead of including it in the next BAS, but you're allowed to leave it until the next one. Keep some really detailed notes on what's happened in case you need to refer back to them, and keep a copy of both different BAS that you lodged in your records so you have pretty accurate representation of what happened if you ever need to go back and have a look at it. Now, my suggestion for best practice, make sure the error is corrected in the same financial year. So your taxable income and expenses are accurate, your profit in your reports is accurate, and a few other things. So if the error is in the April to June quarter, don't fix it in the next one if possible. Do a revision on that June BAS. So to work out what to do, run through these questions. Is the amount material? Is the amount recent? Which financial year is it in? Can I include it in the next BAS, or am I required to lodge a revision? If you're still stuck or not sure how to do that revision, please don't wing it, because you might do it the wrong way and the changes never actually get picked up or lodged. And you don't want to be in that boat thinking everything is up to date and it's actually not, and you wind up owing a whole heap of money somewhere. It's not a bad thing to ask your friendly bookkeeper, who is a BAS agent, or your tax agent for help. Asking for help is how you learn and grow, and we are always learning in small business. If you're keen for more info on your BAS and key areas to check before lodging so you can avoid making mistakes, episode 6 of the show, What is a BAS, is perfect for you. Dive back and have a listen to that one. Thanks for joining me today to level up and take control over more financial knowledge in your small business. I would love it if you could please leave me a review, and I'm looking forward to next week's special episode with another exciting guest joining me to support you in growing and learning your bookkeeping matters.